In. This is our first ever Wellness Wednesday here at Baker. And the team and I, your teachers, had the idea to once a week get together and offer some tips for wellness. And so we'll start with a really quick definition of wellness. Wellness means to be okay, to be good. And we can talk about wellness on the inside and on the outside. And every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we are going to be talking about something having to do with wellness because there are a lot of different ways to define it. But what I want our Baker community to understand is that everybody has a responsibility to focus on their own wellness. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. And so as we take this journey together, I'll be showing you different ways. And then you will develop your own kind of checkpoints that you do to make sure that you're doing well. And it doesn't matter if you're a kindergartner or a sixth grader or a parent or a teacher, making sure that you are doing okay on the inside and out is the best for you, and you'll be more successful at school and in life because of it. So, I see a bunch of people already joining. That is fantastic. Hi, Miss Carolina. Nice to see you. Okay. So, and like I said, Miss Schwartz was nice enough to be our co-host, and I'm sure more people are going to come in. Hopefully you watched my video announcements for this week, and I talked about what it means to be staring at a screen all the time, okay? And so if you have some free time and you want to learn more about it, what you guys can do is Google blue light. And in every computer screen or TV screen, there's what they call blue light. You can't see it, you just see the screen, but the light that's inside screens really can affect your eyeballs. And we, as you know, because we're on distance learning now this whole time, the more we stare at a screen, the harder it is for our eyes to focus. And probably some of you have had the experience of feeling strain in those eyes when they get really tired, because our eyes were not made to be staring at screens all the time. But because we're on distance learning, that's kind of what we have to do. And then if you have a cell phone, you're always looking at that thing. And if you like TV or you play video games, or after school you watch YouTube every day, then you're staring at more screens, and that can really start to hurt your eyes. And so the first thing that I want to talk about, which is an easy thing for everybody to do, is the 20-20-20. The 20-20-20 rule is a really easy thing for you to do. So every 20 minutes, it doesn't matter if you're doing your synchronous learning or not, if you're looking at a screen, every 20 minutes, you need to take 20 seconds, take your eyes and focus them away from a screen. The last 20 in there, 20-20-20, is something that's 20 feet away, okay? And that's not the sun or another screen, because your eyeballs need that break. And you don't want to be looking at something super close, because then they're going to be straining more, okay? And you don't want to be looking at something really far away, because they're going to be straining more. So 20-20-20 is every 20 minutes, you're going to take 20 seconds and try to look at something that's 20 feet away or so, which would just be the distance of a room, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about good timer apps. And I know a lot of parents have iPhones and Androids. This is a really good application on the phone. If you guys can see it, maybe you can. I'll put it in the chat. It's called Interval Timer. And it's a free app that anybody can download on a phone, and it just sets a timer for you. So what I'm going to do is we're going to practice this for 20 seconds, okay? So remember that the goal is every 20 minutes, you are going to stare at something across the room for 20 seconds. So I'm going to start the timer, and then we're all going to do it, which means that no one should be looking at the screen. Okay, so find that object that's maybe across the room. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's the fridge, maybe it's the dog, I don't know. All right, ready? So let's try it right now. 20 seconds starts, go. No peeking. Okay, that's 20 seconds. You have just hugged your eyeball. You just made your eyeball feel so nice right now. Your eyes are like, oh, McKinley, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you just did something nice for my eyeball, okay? The same with you, Jackie, and the same with you, Cesar and Galilea. Hi, Eurydia. you just did something so great for your eyeball. So what I want you guys to do as you go is set a timer, if you can, every 20 minutes, and then maybe some of you even did it in class, and find that thing that's 20 feet away, and you can just stare at it, okay? If it's your little baby brother or sister, you can stare at them too and give them silly eyes. But remember that you're like helping your eyeballs, okay? The next thing, and then we're gonna transition into our stretches and our yoga, is what happens when we sit down all the time. So I'm gonna take my computer right here, and we're just gonna move it right over this way, okay? And so everybody can see, I'm here and I'm seated. And let's say I have to be on Zoom all day. Well, sometimes I start to hunch over and I'm just hanging out in my chair. And what happens is our spine, our backbone starts to get all scrunched up. That's one thing that happens when we sit down for too long, is that our spine gets all scrunched up, and our spine doesn't want to be like that. It wants to be stretched out all of the time. We want to be as tall as possible, but instead we're hunched over like this. And then sometimes our shoulders start to droop, okay? And then our neck starts to droop a little bit like that. And so if you've been on distance learning, like an hour into it, you started out like this with good posture, and then like an hour later, you look like this, and the screen's like, you know, right next to your face. And so your body doesn't want to do that, okay? The other thing that happens is that when we sit for too long, we don't use our abdominal muscles, our core muscles. They just sort of sit there, okay? The other thing that happens is because we're not moving around a lot, our body doesn't function as quickly and as normally as it would. So if you're sitting down for like 7 or 8 hours, it doesn't digest the same, which means that food and water doesn't go through your body the same way. And it also reduces the amount of energy that you have. So if we're sitting all day, every day, and we start to hunch over a little bit like this, and this, and this, and this, and we're not active, then our body doesn't want to do all the things that it normally wants to do. Because we were not designed as people, as humans, to be sitting down for 7 or 8 hours at a desk. But that's what we have right now. So our goal, of course, is to counteract any of the bad effects that we have from sitting down. So if we have to sit down all day, because that's what we have with distance learning, there are a couple ways to make it better. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. You're going to take a little journey with me to my garage. Everybody ready? Here we go. If there's a cat there, don't mind it. All right. So here's my garage. It's nothing fancy. This is a little area where I hang out a lot of the time to do exercises because I can't, because I like to be able to do that. But that doesn't mean that everybody needs a garage space or an office space. All you need is a space where you can fit your body and a couple feet on either side. You can do this in the living room, you can do this in the kitchen, you can do this in your own bedroom. So it doesn't matter where you are, but if everybody can, if you'd like to, stand up. If you want to engage in these stretches. I see Shaylin. Shaylin is not excited about standing up yet, but she will maybe. And don't think I won't say your name on this video, because it's right there. You too, Isabel McGill. Time for you to stand up also. So, if anybody has ever practiced yoga and have heard about it, yoga really helps the body's flexibility and strength. And one of the things that yoga focuses on is taking our spine, that backbone, and making sure that it is as long as possible. Because the spine bends in 6 different ways, okay? We don't think about it all the time, but it really wants to be long and it wants to be flexible. And when we sit for too long, it's just not flexible. So we are gonna do a few stretches, okay? I'm gonna show you 5 stretches, and hopefully everybody can do them with me. And if not, the first time, that's okay. Like I said when we started, if you weren't in here, 6th graders are not too cool to do stretches, and kindergartners are not too young to do stretches. Everybody can do stretches like this. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna start with is the front fold. And we're gonna do it for each one for 10 seconds. And I'm gonna show you 2 different ways. If you wanna try it, but turn off the camera, I get that too, if you're too shy. Okay, here we go. So the first is a front fold. All we're going to do, hopefully everybody can see me, is we're gonna stand with our feet shoulder width apart, okay? And we are gonna take in a deep breath, And then as we try to fold over, we're going to breathe out for as deeply as we can and see how far we can go down, making sure that our back is nice and round and our head and skull are long and facing down this way. And I'm not super flexible, so as I breathe out, that's about as far as I can get, but I feel a really nice stretch there in my back, okay? So I stay long. We're gonna hold that for 10 seconds. You can grab the backs of your legs too, and make sure you tuck your head in like this. Okay? So I see some cameras going off, which means maybe you guys are trying it. All right, now we're gonna try from the other way so that you can see it. So again, I am going to stand up tall right now, big deep breath in, and then as I exhale, we're gonna go all the way down. Nice bend. Make sure my spine wants to feel like it's getting really long, and see if I can go down any farther. Okay, so that's the front fold. I'm gonna look on your cameras and see if anybody's doing that front fold. All your cameras are off, so I'll take that to mean that you're actually doing it. Galilea, nice work. Ari, nice work. I love that. Thank you, Abby. Okay, next is the tree pose. The tree pose is my favorite yoga pose because we get to stand up and work on our balance, okay? So hopefully everybody can see that. I'm actually gonna move this down real quick so you can see the whole deal. Alrighty, okay? And so for the tree pose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay standing, okay? And then with one foot, we're gonna take this foot up and we're just gonna rest it right here on the inside of our knee, okay? So we're gonna be nice and tall with our shoulders. Our spine is all the way long, okay? And then we are just going to be standing like a tree with good balance, and our leg will be touching the inside of our other leg. So, excuse me, my foot. So my right foot is touching my left leg. It might be hard to get your balance at first, but this is a really good exercise for staying as long as possible, okay? So there's one. So that was with my right leg. And as you know, with good balance, everything that you do, you want to do to the other side as well. Okay, so that was our tree pose, and I was using my right leg up. Now we're going to do tree pose, right leg on the ground, and my left foot is going to be on the inside of my right knee. Okay, so standing nice and tall, thinking long with our spine, and then we're going to take our left foot. Whoa, you might be working on that balance. I see some of you working on that balance. Left foot, and it's going to be touching right in there on my right knee, okay? So you try to hold that for as long as you can, okay? And the whole time you're thinking, keep that spine long and flexible, all right? So we have our front fold, which we know is all the way straight down. And as you go down, make sure you're breathing out to get as flexible as possible. And then we have the tree pose, okay? Which is great for balance, okay? And it's also good for opening up those hips and keeping your spine nice and straight. So those are the first two. The next one is the triangle. The triangle I absolutely love, okay? Because it's such a good stretch for this and your back. And right back here, which are your hamstrings. And remember, you can do this on any break, if you have a recess break, at lunchtime, anytime you want, okay? Or after school. If you do just 30 minutes of exercise every single day, it will counteract, which is to say, it will get rid of all the bad effects of sitting for 8 hours. So the triangle pose is like this. So we will stand a little bit wider, okay? And we're gonna have one hand straight up in the air. Hopefully you guys can see that and hear me, okay? And as we do this, we're gonna stay looking right at our hand the whole time. And the goal is, we have one hand in the air, and with our other hand, we're gonna keep our legs straight and bend straight down. So we have to bend at the side and touch your left foot. So I have my left hand on my left foot and I'm looking straight up. And what you should feel is a whole bunch of stretching in here, okay? It's also great for your back and your hips, okay? The triangle. And then go slowly back up, all right? So again, I'll show you that. The triangle. One arm in the air. Keep your legs as straight as possible. And with this other hand, you're gonna go touch your other foot. It might be hard at first. Lots of stretching, all the while you're looking right up here, and then you go back up. Okay, so we'll try the other side. Left hand's gonna be in the air, nice straight arm. Feet wide, okay? And then this right hand is gonna go down and touch our right foot. Oh my goodness, I'm sore. And then I'm gonna keep looking up there, and I'm gonna hold it, and I feel that stretch in here and in here, and then I'm gonna come back up. Okay, that one was good. All right, now we're gonna show you a tougher one. It's called the downward dog. And this one is a lot of fun, and you don't need a ton of space, but it's really, really tough to do, I think, at first. So you gotta work on your balance. So everybody is gonna start like this, okay? We're gonna have our hands right where our shoulders are, in line with our shoulders, but a little bit in front of us. And you're gonna get up on your toes. And then you're gonna try to make what looks kind of like a tent. Gonna try to make a V, and you're gonna feel a nice stretch in your lower back. I see you guys on camera looking great. Galilea, excellent job. And you're gonna feel a stretch back here. So we're gonna go like this. And we're really gonna try to push down into the ground so we can feel the back stretch a lot, okay? And it might be hard on your shoulders at first, so just do what you can. It's totally fine. But remember, we're trying to stretch that back up, okay? So that's the downward dog. Once you do the downward dog, then you have to do the upward dog. So the upward dog is another stretch that is good for your lower back and your core. So we will do this, okay? Same position, and then when you come down to it, like you're gonna make your lower back as long as possible. I'm not super flexible, so I can't go down very far, but you wanna make sure that this is feeling stretched out, push up, and your head stays up. So we have the downward dog, okay? And then we have upward dog like that, and you can just hold it and feel the stretch, okay? So those are your good stretches, 5 of them that you can do any day on your breaks. And remember that if you have 30 minutes, you can get a lot of stretching in. So that's one good thing we can do. Hi, Melly, good to see you, okay? Remember what we talked about when we were sitting in the chair back over there was that when you're sitting for too long, excellent job, everybody, by the way. You're not using your abdominal muscles enough, okay? And we need those because they keep all of our other body parts moving well, okay? And if we're sitting for too long, we're gonna lose coordination and strength and all of those things so that when you do come back to school, you won't be able to excel at recess or have too much fun at PE or be great on the basketball team if we've lost all of our core muscles. So one thing we can do is planking, okay? Can anybody show me a hand if you've ever planked before? Any plankers out there? Vanessa's planked before. Isabel McGill for sure has planked before. Okay, we're gonna do a plank real quick, and I want everybody to try it if you can, okay? All you need is enough space to be on the ground. All right, so here's a plank. A plank is gonna help you keep this tight, your ab muscles tight, and your back tight, okay? And it's good for your shoulders too. So some people can hold a plank for a really long time. We're just gonna practice for 10 seconds. If you can do 10 seconds of a plank, that's fantastic. If you can only do 5, that's okay too. But you could try it every day and work your way up. So when we do a plank, we're down here on our elbows. Our shoulders are right above our elbows and our hands are all in a line. It should look like this when you're doing it. It shouldn't look like this. And it shouldn't look like that. It should look like just like this, okay? So we're gonna do our plank, starting with our elbows all in line. And then we're gonna go straight out like that. My feet are on the ground and my back is as straight as possible, okay? We don't wanna be like this, like the downward dog, and we don't wanna be laying on the ground either, because that's not doing the work. So when we plank, we try to keep our back straight, our head and neck. Remember, we're thinking about our vertebrae the whole time. And it should be hard for you to do right in here if you don't do a lot of planking. So we're gonna try for 10 seconds, okay? If you have a timer, you can set a timer. I'll just count it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. Some people plank for 20 minutes, hours. Those are advanced plankers. You guys don't have to be advanced plankers. But if you just do a little bit, just a little bit each day, your body will be really happy. So we've covered a couple things today. One is, let's make sure that every 20 minutes, we're looking at something other than our screen, okay? That's 20 feet away. When we sit for too long, it makes our spine all crunched up, okay? And what we can do to fix that is we can do stretches every single day. So every day that we're on distance learning, you guys should be doing some stretches as well. We talked about 5 stretches today. So we had the front fold, standing up tall, breathing out and down. We had the tree pose, working on our balance, and you can do either side. You should do either side. We had the triangle, feet wide apart, hands straight up, touching down to your other foot. And then we had the downward dog, which is a great lower back stretch. You push into it and get your lower back into the air. And then we had the upward dog, which is stretching your lower back, just like that, okay? Looking up. After that, you can try some advanced moves, which are planks. And just know that everything that you're doing, if you're doing those stretches and planks and even looking away from your computer screen, is a way for you caring for yourself. It's a way for you to promote your own wellness so that you can feel better on the inside and on the outside. And we know that right now, it's really hard to do that because we're inside. Today, the air was really, really smoky. And that was a huge challenge because we like to go outside and run around or ride our bikes or, even be in the backyard and enjoy the outside. And we couldn't do that today. So everybody has some space, even if it's your living room, okay? Even if it's the kitchen, even if it's your bedroom. All you need is a little bit of space, and you can do all these things so that you're not sitting down all day. And even if you do have to sit down all day, then it's really, really going to help that spine stay lengthened, and then you're going to be a lot healthier. So remember, when you do this, drink water, always. If you have family members, ask them to join you because it's something fun that you can do with the whole family. It's something that we do in our household. And remember that when you are doing it, you are being nice to yourself. And that's a really good thing. And I expect all Baker Bears to make sure that they're treating themselves okay, because we need you at your best. So it is 3:23. We did 23 minutes of Wednesday Wellness. Tell your friends if they didn't come this time, they'll come next week. And we will be talking a little bit about nutrition. And I hate to say it, but I'm not going to have nice things to say about hot Cheetos. But that will be for next week. So thank you for coming. Make sure to drink water. Okay, everybody get a good night's sleep, and I will see you on your Zooms tomorrow. Thanks.